Hi everybody, this is Brandy and I'm on YouTube. Surprise. So I actually have just started a new journey and I wanted to tell you guys about my new decision. I've actually decided to do bariatric surgery, also known as weight loss surgery. And so that's kind of this new exciting adventure in my life. And I noticed that there's not a lot of people on YouTube telling their stories that are from the particular medical establishment that I'm using, which is Bailey Medical Center. So, woohoo, Bailey. It's an amazing place, and thus far the journey has been really amazing. And I hope that I can bring you guys some videos that will help better kind of just share with the world how amazing Bailey is and how they, what they do, how they do it, what to expect from Bailey. So, yeah. So this is a big deal. I have just got to this decision because, I'm kind of at a place where I really am a little bit more concerned about my health. And so now it became important, like this thing on my, front burner instead of the back burner, that I needed to pay attention to my health and my weight. Just full disclosure, I'm at the heaviest I have ever been, pregnant or non, and I don't feel good. I've been through a lot of stressful things in my life recently, and I know that those contribute, but I also know that I just my body doesn't feel good anymore, and I want to change that. So that's where just the desire, I guess, to change came from. So what had happened, and I wanted to share this part of the story with you because I feel like it's important. I had a friend of mine that I knew from high school, and I hadn't seen her for over a year, about a year. And when I saw her this last time, I was just like blown away. She just looked different, like almost more like vibrant and more alive. And she moved differently and just, she was different. And so I, of course, questioned her and trying to figure out what was going on. I could tell she lost a lot of weight. She'd always been kind of heavier, but I could just tell she had really lost a significant amount of weight. And so, I asked her, and her countenance just was completely different. Like, you could tell it was a deep heart matter to her, not just, oh yeah, I went on this diet and it's great, you should do it too. But it was like something on the inside of her had changed. And so anyway, I asked her what she had done, and she said she had gone through Bailey Medical Center and had weight loss surgery. And I was like, okay, I've heard about this, but I don't really know, like, is it really a good idea, or is it scary, or like, what was your experience? And she started to tell me, and she literally, her eyes welled up with tears, and she started to tell me how it had been such an amazing experience and how Bailey incorporates all these different doctors into your team. You have a team when you go there, and they do a lot of testing. They want to make sure that everything is safe for you to do to progress through the stages and through your journey there. So what you'll hear all the time through Bailey is that safety drives everything. And I think they don't only mean that from the provider's perspective, trying to be safe with the patient through procedures or suggestions, advice that they give you, but I think they're also viewing it as safety from the patient's perspective and how that patient can walk through the journey as safely as they can, and how they can get the most out of it by paying attention to how safe they are with their choices throughout the journey. So that impressed me, right? So she started talking about this team and how they're always with you, they're always supporting you, and how she couldn't do it without all the support that she has. And I feel like that was like a changing moment for me, because it went from trying to get healthy, trying to lose weight, trying to figure out how to do this all on my own, to, or you could have this whole team of healthcare providers that this is all they do. This is all they do. And they want to help you. And they're specialists, and they're going to show you step by step by step how to make my goals, my personal health goals, a reality. Okay. So that was just like, it was a turning point for me. So I was like, okay. So I asked her, well, how do you get started with this? I mean, surely it's expensive. Surely, I don't even know anything about this. How in the world would I even start? So she told me the first thing you do is Bailey has seminars that they put on. And the seminar is just basically one night that you show up for, I think, a couple hours, and you listen to different speakers. Like the night that I went, the president, or director, I guess, director of the program was there, and he just kind of shared a little bit about the program. And then I listened to Dr. Joe Bob Kirk, that man is phenomenal. You can tell what he does is not a job, it is his passion. And he was one of the, I guess, founding people that put together the program at Bailey. He's been amazing. He was there, and then they also had a couple post-op patients that showed up and gave their testimony, their story, and then we could ask them questions. And they also showed the two most common procedure types, the gastric sleeve and then the gastric bypass. They showed a graphic of what it means. What does that mean? What does it look like? What does that procedure entail? So they showed all that and they explained it, and then they just allowed us to ask questions. So, and then while they were talking, a scheduler went around to every table, and they sat kind of right next to you and scheduled your first appointment. That's how easy it was. The seminar cost absolutely nothing. And by the time I left there, I understood that there was, options for surgery. I understood that I kind of even knew about how much it was going to cost me. And I had my first appointment scheduled. And I had just gotten, kind of that one-on-one firsthand look from somebody who's been there and done that. And I think really I was kind of hooked that by then already. And so sure enough, I went to my first appointment. I was so nervous. Admitting I was fat or needed help was just not something I was looking forward to doing, right? And so, but yeah, I had to, and I did, and I showed up, and they were the nicest people ever. I was greeted by the medical assistant, taken back to my room. She handed me this binder, which maybe if I can, I'll make another video about what that binder looks like and how all the different specialists that you see and how it all works. Because I had so many questions in the beginning. I still have a lot of questions, but I'm learning as I go. And so she gave me the binder. She explained to me kind of the basics, and then she said that my provider would be with me shortly and that she would go over the binder in even more detail. So, okay. And just the facility itself. I mean, you talk about top notch. You feel like you're almost at a resort. Everything is clean and new and beautiful. And everybody there understands that they are working for one of the top rated medical facilities and bariatric facilities in the country. And so you just know that you're getting treated with the best, utmost care, right? And so you feel that quality in every step of the journey, or at least I have so far. So my provider came in. She's a nurse practitioner, and she sat down and went through page by page of this notebook, explaining to me how this process works, what's expected of me, and some new rules I had to start following. That was kind of eye-opening. And yeah, it includes getting rid of caffeine. So if you can imagine, that was not something I really wanted to hear at all. But anyway, so went through that day, and then it just started. Like I got a phone call from the scheduler, and what they try to do, since you're seeing so many different modalities, they try to bulk schedule you. Like they'll put 2 or 3 appointments together back to back, so that you're not having to travel out to the facility so many different times. Just make it more convenient and easier for the patient. So that was all great. They also give you this handy dandy little app on your phone, and it lets you track all of your food that you intake, your exercise, the water you drink, of course your weight. You can set goals as far as when I went to further down the road, when I started going to see the nutritionist, I was told, here's your goal for protein, here's your goal for carbohydrates. All these different things were set for me. And so I could put those in my phone and know exactly, if I'm going too much or not enough on something. So that's kind of how it all started. And now I'll be honest with you, I still struggle. I'm struggling with keeping up the right amounts of protein versus carbs, and I haven't had too much trouble getting my water in. The vitamins have been extremely easy, and I have just been pouring through YouTube myself, trying to find other people who have been here and done this and what their suggestions and advice are. And I found a lot of amazing people. And one thing let me just say it this way. You get a whole new family on top of this. Like the people that you meet at Bailey, yes, they are, the receptionist and the medical assistant and the nurse practitioner and the doctor and the surgeon and the, whatever, the list, right? But they become these people that are personally invested into your success through weight loss and through becoming healthy. It really isn't even about how much weight can you lose, although that's important too, but it also becomes your journey through weight loss to health, to being able to move, to being able to bend, to being able to walk up a flight of stairs and not get out of breath, to enjoy being outside without feeling like so much of your body is sticking to other parts of your body and it's just not good, right? So, but just to health, there's a lot of people who are talking about getting off their diabetic medications, like getting off of their high blood pressure medications. And these are hugely important to the functions of our organs and how our body works. So I've just been utterly amazed. So I just kind of wanted to start out making this video. This is not easy for me to do. It's not easy for me to live in my own truth, that there's things I need help with, and that I'm actually on this journey, and that this is what's in front of me right now. This is my challenge to meet, to become seriously concerned about my health and to do something about it. And I'm looking forward to what the future holds, but it's going to be a road. It's going to be a long journey. Today I just went through this whole morning. This is Saturday, July 27th of 2019, and I just went through the annual Bariatric I guess you call it conference that they have yearly. And it was just, we started at 9 and we talked to different vendors, got all kinds of samples and goodies and all that kind of stuff. And then we went to different, like, little subtopic, um, you know, lectures, I guess you could call it. And like I went to one for relationships during this change, your relationship to food, your relationship to other people, and how to deal with that. I also went to another one that was about mindfulness. I mean, this is kind of cool to me, that there's really people out there that have so much knowledge about how to walk through this journey, and that all of these resources are available. And that's what blows my mind. Because if I had realized that this was available to me, heck, I would have been on this a long time ago. Because it's just too good to not want to be a part of. Let's see, let me think about what my other topics were. Oh, we had to exercise today. So you had your choice between a kickboxing class or a strength training TheraBand type workout. I did that one because I kind of thought it would be easier. But it still kicked my butt. I still walked out of there sweating, which is probably why I look the way I do right now. I haven't changed or anything. So yeah, I mean, my heartbeat got up and we did stretches afterwards. It was really cool. So a lot of good stuff today, almost like overwhelming because there's so much to talk about, to think about, to plan for, to do. And I met people who had already been through the surgeries and were still in their weight loss stage of the journey. There were people there that had been post-op for 15 years, and they still come because, it's the support and the encouragement. And, they talked about how this is a lifelong decision or change that you make in your life. My goal isn't to lose 100 pounds so that I can go back to eating poorly and making bad decisions and end up right back where I am right now. That's not the goal. The goal is to safely get to a good weight, a good healthy weight, and be able to live a life that I can move and be active and treat my body well, and then live the rest of my life that way. So it takes that support along the way to kind of stay in that mindset to where you can constantly feed yourself good thoughts as well as good food. Does that make sense? So anyway, I have blubbered on and on and on. I just wanted to touch base with you guys and let you know where I was at. So that's what it is. That's what I'm doing. And I am excited and terrified at the same time. So I hope that this is a blessing to somebody out there. Somebody finds encouragement from this. I hope to make some more videos and stay in touch with you guys. If you have any good thoughts, good vibes to send my way, please do. I would love to hear from people who have either been through it or who are planning to go through it. Let's connect. Let's support each other. I would love that. So, bye-bye for now. Thanks for listening.